Hello viewers, welcome to this channel once again. Today, as I've already told you, this channel is for studies and also to have fun and to release stress. Okay, so today we will treat or we will have our lessons on naming of what our kings. Okay, naming of our kings. But before then, I would like to introduce to you some importance of our king because these compounds are very what important. You know that the first member of alkene, which alkene I mean alkene, which is 18, is a hormone in plant, and such a hormone does wonderful things in plant. You know that that hormone that you see 18 in plant, it's the hormone that is responsible for the development and then growth of plants. Yeah, and then also when fruits are matured and are supposed to be ripe for consumption, then this hormone are the hormones responsible for such wonderful things that the plant produce. Okay, and also you would have some good smells from some plants, and this hormone that is the epsin, the first member of the alkene, that's the hormone that is responsible for such wonderful smell that the plant produce. So getting into chemistry, we find it that these hormones are very important, that they are used in most of our daily life, even in our clothing and a lot of things. But today, let us look at how to deal with this, how to name this compound. Some students find it very difficult to name this compound. But so let us go to the board and then learn how to what? Name alkenes. Okay. But then you have to step before then let us take a very good look at the rules, some rules that we need to consider before naming the alkenes. The first rule is that when you read from the board, you say that take a good look at the longest continuous what chain that contains the functional group, that is the double bond. So when dealing with alkene, you know that the general formula it is CnH2n, and then unlike the alkanes, there are two hydrogen locks which account for the double bond. So it makes these compounds very reactive. So when you're talking about alkene, then you're talking about reactive what compounds. So when you are dealing with alkenes, you have to be very careful. Okay, let's so considering the rule one, it says that you look out for the longest continuous chain. The longest continuous chain does not mean always the straight chain, but when it branches down and then there is the functional group, that is double bond there, then you have to note that that side should be considered as the what functional group. Okay, so let us take a look at this chain, skeletal chain. Okay, so we have C double bond, C, C, and you have double bond, have C, have C, and have C and C. Okay, so when you are asked to look for the longest continuous chain, then you have to take a good look at the one with the functional group. So when you take this chain, most people or most students consider it to be in this direction because they always know that the straight chain is the longest chain. But considering this direction, you know that is where the what the double bond is. That is when you are taking it from this side, then you should know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the longest chain becomes the branch one here. Okay, and then let us look at some important thing over here. You see, these alkanes are always ending with the alkanes are always ending with E-N-E. Okay, they end with this name, but because sometimes we find out that there are either triple double bonds in it or the two double bonds. So when you see these two double bonds or the three double bonds, you cannot end in this name. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to instead of ending with this E, and you just end with, if it is two, then end with the I N. Okay, when it is two, when it is two, end with what? Di-N. When it is three, let us end with tri-N. Okay, when it's two, di-N. When it's three, tri-N. When it's one, you can end it in the N. Okay, when it's two, remember to end with the di-N. Okay, that is very important. Very important. Okay, also when we hear this name, 1 butane, 2 butane, why do we say 1 butane? this is one butane because the when maybe one butane, 3 pentane. So when you get one butane, you should know that then the carbons are 4, but the double bond, you should know that it's on the first carbon, so it is one what butane. But when it's on the second carbon, we say it's what 2 butane. Okay, take a very good note of this. So let us also move on. Let us move on to the rule 2. The rule 2 says that, take a very good look at it. The rule 2 says that name the substituent first. Okay, name the substituent first before the name of what the functional group or the functional group you are dealing with here. So when you have, you can have the Italian group, and you can also have the ethyl. We have the methyl, the propyl. So when you may have inorganic compound as substituent also, then you also consider that names first before you add the name of the functional group. Let's take a look at the rule 3 too. It said name them in the alphabetical order. Sorry, when you are naming it, name it in alphabetical order. Alphabetical, make it sure they are named in alphabetical. So when the inorganic compound as the substituent, then you know that bromo, that is bromine, comes first because B comes first before the chloro, that is C. So if there is bromo, name the bromine first, and then you follow it. If there's chloro, then you add the chlorine. Then if there's ethane before methyl, the methane, then add the methyl group. So you just introduce them alphabetically. Okay. Then let's continue to rule 4. What is the rule 4 saying here? The rule 4 says that if you are counting, okay, you know that when you are naming these structures, okay, considering this, then you have the double bond here. You can't start. You don't have to start counting from this side. But because the double bond is very near to the first carbon, you start counting from this side. Okay? So that when there is a substituent here, you wouldn't have to, because the substituent here, you start counting from here. No, you have to start counting from here so that the substituent will be on the carbon number 3. So when it is here also, don't see that because the chain is moving, you are seeing it this way, you have to take it from this side. No, you have to take it from this side so that the double bond will be on the carbon number 2. Okay, so that when you are naming it, the double bond will be on the carbon number 2. You just have to get the smallest value possible. The smallest value possible. Okay, make sure that you are getting the smallest value possible. That is what makes it more correct. If you are seeing something like a value like when you are counting from this side, maybe let's take this substituent here, then you start counting from this side, then you say 2 chloro, see, then you see, you name this as 2 chloro, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Please, you shouldn't consider it this way, okay? Don't consider it this way because when you take it this way, the numbers are too what? For the functional group, you have to get the smallest value for the functional group, okay? When there's a functional group, including a functional group, make sure that the functional group has the smallest value. Don't consider this one, but consider the functional group to have the smallest value. Okay. So instead of counting from this side, you see from here, you see that this carbon is carbon number 2. Okay. So it has the smallest value for the functional group. So instead of, and then when you come from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, the chlorine is on the 4th carbon. So therefore, you will bring, instead of bringing the 3 here, it should rather be the 2, okay, so that the chlorine will have the 4, so that you see that 4 chloro, 2 pentane, okay. That is how it's named, okay. So considering this, we have some examples here, okay. There are some examples here. Let us try to name this compound. Let's try to name this compound. Okay. When you take the first example, so solution to this, okay, solution to this example over here. What are we doing to it? Looking at this first example, example number 1, you can see that there are 2 double bonds in it. Okay, so we have to count from the point where the functional group will have the lowest number possible. You have to check that the functional group has the lowest number possible. So let's try counting from this side. 1, 2. So the first functional group is on the second carbon. Okay, then 3 and 4. So when you are counting from here, you will see that when you are counting from the right side to the left, you will see that you have 2 and then 4. Okay, then let's consider that is from the right side. Let's consider from the left hand side. Okay, from the left hand side, let's consider that one too. So when you are counting from the left hand side, you have 1, 2, 3. The first carbon is on the third one. So let's say 3 and then 4 and 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5. So when you are trying to name this compound, the number of compounds there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when it is 7, we say it's what? Hexane. But let us try heptane, sorry. When it is 7, it's heptane. Okay. 7. So you see, when you are considering this side, you just take a good look at this and you see that you have 2, okay, and 3, okay, and these values are less as compared to this one. Okay, so you pick this one instead. So when you are naming the compound, we say that this compound will be given the name, because the number of carbon is 7, it is heptane. Okay, it's heptane. So we say 2, 4, 19. That's for the 1. 2, 4 heptadiene. Do you know why heptadiene? As I explained previously, that because when there are 2, the last end, change the name to diene. When there are 3, the last end is triene. Okay, just try to know the number of the double bonds over there so that you change this part accordingly. So it means that the first carbon is on carbon number, the first double bond is on carbon number 2, and the second is also on the carbon number 4. So it means that the two carbon bonds are there. So then we can see that this side is what? Diene. Okay. So let us take look at the example number 2. We take the number of carbons over there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the straight chain is for what? Hexane. Okay, hexane. Okay. When I'm talking about hexane, means that the carbons over there are 6. But bear in mind that I said previously that when you name the substituents alphabetically, okay, you have to name them alphabetically. So when you're naming them alphabetically, you know that bromine is B, and then chlorine is what? C. Okay, and the number of double bonds there is 1. So, and then you count it so that you have the least number for the functional group. So when you're counting from this side, 1, 2, 3. When you're counting from this side, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so they all have what? The same number. When you count it from the left and when you count it from the right too, they are also having the same number of what? The number for the functional group. So all you have to consider is the substituent. Which one has the least number for the substituent? So now we are considering the substituent. When the functional group has the same what? They have the same as when it comes to the rule number 4. They say when you're having the same what? Number for the functional group, then you should take a good look at what? The substituents. So when you take a look at the substituents, see that chlorine, when it's accounted for this side, chlorine is on the third carbon. Or when it's accounted for this side, bromine is on the what? Second carbon. So bromine has the least number. Okay. So we take it from this side. So that you will see that bromine is on the second carbon, then chlorine is on the fourth carbon. So you name it alphabetically. So you see that 2 bromo, 4 chloro, 4 chloro, 3 hydrogen. That will be the name for the second one. And then let's consider the last one. So you can find out small examples after you saw this and then try your hands on it so that you perfect yourself on this topic. So let's consider this one. So when you are considering this one is also a simple one of that. So you just have to count and take the least number for the functional group. When you are taking it's also on the third carbon for this side and the third carbon for this side. So you just consider the substituents and then counting for this side. The substituents that is the beta. The beta has counting from the right side. It has the least number. So when you are naming, you take it from the right side. So that you say 1, 2, 3 what? But if you come from this side, it will be 4 beta. So just have it to be already. You would consider the number for what? The least number for the functional group, and the least number also, since the functional group have the same number counting from left to right, then this one should be considered having a least number also. So the name will be 3 beta 3. So viewers, this is where we bring the lesson to an end. See, so you just have to find more examples and then make sure that you can solve such examples. In your test you might have a lot of examples that you can solve from aside. So viewers, this is where we end the video. But I would like you to subscribe to this channel, okay, so that we can be able to produce or update more videos. Thank you, viewers.